Our next speaker for this part of the evening is Dr. Laszlo Ludvig. I met Laszlo at the previous Inspire Speech event where we sat next to each other, and he grilled me with a lot of questions about what the course was like, and I'm really pleased to see that he has chosen to join. Laszlo is the head of the Siemens section Infrastructure and Cities. He is 45 years old and the father of 3 children. He has a PhD in engineering as well as a degree in economics. And he's going to give us the speech, Discovering the World with the 3 Attilas. So please welcome to the stage, Dr. Laszlo Ludvig.
I have a long history with motorbikes. As a teenager, I got my second-hand moped from my father. It was a proud product of the famous Java factory in the socialist Czechoslovakia, so you can imagine how often I had to repair it. But I loved that bike. That bike started my lifelong fascination with moving machines. I studied engineering, and I have worked in the industry for more than 20 years with factory automation, driverless metros, trains, or smart energy grids. When I became a father, I decided to give up motorbikes, and to date I have had 3 children. We lived in various countries, and as we returned from Germany, we moved to a new house with a big garage. But something was missing from that garage. It was a motorbike. So I bought a motorbike again, and I started my hobby. Motorcycling is primal. You can simply enjoy the speed in the saddle. I can hardly ever use my bike to go to work because it wouldn't fit my role at my company. However, one Saturday I had to do some extra work because I got a new financial director, Attila, and I was glad I could drive on bike to work. I parked my 1200cc BMW at the courtyard, a beautiful, powerful engine, a big back boxer, classic look, wheels with spokes, a black and white checkered stripe painted onto the fuel tank, so it was really impressive in the morning sun. Attila arrived soon after, and around noon on leaving, I was surprised to see that the sporty BMW Cabriolet was parked next to my bike. I was going to ask, is this yours? But a little twinkle in Attila's eyes answered, and the words that left my mouth were, let's have a race. So we soon lined up at the end of our empty, large company courtyard. The echoes of the 2 engines bounced from the big buildings, and we gave it full gas. The handlebars were almost torn out from my hands, even the front wheel lifted up, and I won. That weekend we broke the ice, thanks to our beloved hobby. The second joyous thing about motorbikes is that you can drive them off-road. My BMW Boxer is designed for asphalt, so I bought a lighter KTM motocross bike and a smaller one for my son. One lazy Saturday afternoon at our summer cottage in Balatonalmádi, we decided, let's have some fun. So we drove to a dirt track close to our house. Humps and hollows, steep slopes, curvy roads, even some tires laid on the ground, everything surrounded by a forest out of the sight of the car drivers. So we jumped the hollows, we skidded the wheels in the narrow curves, we crossed the obstacles, trying to improve our technique. Suddenly, a group of bikers arrived. They seemed to be quite professional. After some wide laps, they stopped at the corner of the court. They appeared to be looking at us. We approached them, and I said, hello. The toughest person seemed to be the leader of that group, surprisingly answered in a rude way with a furious tone, this is my dirt track. I built it and you should pay for it. I kept calm I replied. I wasn't really afraid. They didn't look like a gang of Hells Angels. There was even a woman with them. They were rather some buddies from the next village. So we turned back and we continued our sport. Some minutes later, the leader approached me and waved, "Follow me." He was called Attila, like the Hun, as I learned later. We entered the forest on a new pathway, narrow crosses between the trees, trunks across the track, rocky sections, beautiful challenges. It was really tough to follow Attila. I was drenched in sweat as we returned to the group after some tiring miles, but I felt I had passed his test. Maybe not the best mark on the average, but I had passed. I asked, should I contribute to the construction of the track? They didn't even answer. So we became really good fellows with that other Attila in Balaton Almadi, and we had lots of fun that summer thanks to the motocross sport. The third big thing about motorbiking is the road trip. Just like the iconic trip of Che Guevara or the long way around the globe of Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman, once I did a similar trip to northern Italy when a colleague of mine invited me to join a group of some 6 bikers. We drove to Italian country roads. We climbed up to the highest passes of the Dolomites to view the picturesque panoramas from the peaks. A beautiful experience, whether in motion or stopping for a coffee at a serene lake surrounded by grey cliffs, or at the top of a mountain admiring the sparkling pink and magenta peaks. 3 days of bliss, taking the turnings of the curvy roads, practicing the special technique of navigating the perfect bend, sheer pleasure, vertically and horizontally. The road of the throttle, the screeching of the brakes, it's a sport. I cannot explain the attraction why. It is just like a runner loves running or a swimmer loves swimming. He cannot exactly tell you the reason. It was a great fun. One evening, we arrived to an old farmhouse with a summer kitchen for barbecue. I turned to a groupmate. There are enough experienced cooks. Let's go up to the mountain. So we entered the forest on a narrow, steep pathway. Above a certain altitude, the vegetation already slowly disappeared. We carefully navigated a rock bed, and then we arrived at a perfect place, a beautiful canyon leading to the peak. A magical experience, the touch of another world. Quiet, except the sound of a gushing waterfall. On the way down, it started to rain. Suddenly, the stones over which we climbed up became the bed of a deep torrential creek, steam and mist everywhere we could barely see. A danger faced with my new friend, and his name was Attila. Really, it was. We arrived to the shelter after sunset. We had a delicious dinner, and we had a long evening chat, enjoying the sense of the community. 3 stories, 3 Attilas, but there was something common to all 3. I entered the labyrinth, I explored my way, I passed hurdles, I had fun with good fellows, and I explored not only the ways of motorcycling, but also the phenomenal feeling of fraternity, becoming a member of the unspoken brotherhood of motorcycle enthusiasts.